Okay. It's trying, and I think we've got it. Maybe. I haven't seen our picture yet. Boom. We're live.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, hello.
What's up? Back
How
in
you
the
doing?
office.
Yeah. So happy to be here. I miss
Yeah,
it.
I know. I know. We uh we were just talking about it, but Mike is off on his surprise honeymoon, and he and his wife Paula are over in Switzerland. You should guys, if you haven't seen it yet, you should check out their pictures they've been posting. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Beautiful. Beautiful photos.
Yes, very. But today, guys, we're gonna be talking about something I think is super super valuable. I'm gonna let Felicity intro the topic, and then we've even got kind of a whenever you're ready, Felicity, I can screen share a bio, and we can kind of dissect it as well.
Sounds great. Awesome. All right. So today, everyone, we are going to be going through your Instagram bio optimization. So this is crucial because your Instagram is practically your resume when it comes to any online business, whether you're a coach or not a coach. So this is applicable for everyone. And being able to optimize this is going to help convert leads into clients, which is essentially our main goal, especially with trying to scale our online business.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. Anything else you want to add before we go on ahead, screen share and dissect the bio?
The only thing that I would kind of add is we
Yeah.
talk about your Instagram page and really any social media page
Uh,
being like the funnel, right? Like it's your first funnel is making sure that this is optimized and set up to get you as many leads as possible because it doesn't really matter how great your funnel in your actual link in bio is if
nope.
nobody wants to click on your profile or go to your profile in the first place and
Hmm.
if nobody is intrigued enough to click. So that's what we're going to talk about today is how to just have your Instagram bio, not just for fitness coaches, but for really almost anybody that wants to get leads online to optimize your page based on how we teach our clients to do so. And we're even going to screen share on one of our clients today.
Yeah. All right. Let's dive on in.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Window. Bear with me,
This is
guys.
gonna be fun.
Yeah,
No.
it is.
Yeah. We
Um,
haven't screen shared anything before. I don't think so.
yeah. Window. All right. Let me get this one more time.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go.
Yay.
Okay. Sharon, good old Frank here.
Love it. All right. So first and foremost, let's look at the very, very top. We'll start from very beginning of Instagram handle. I like Frank's Instagram handle. We definitely want it to be your name and not a business. And the reason being is because we should be posting everything on our own personal. If you think of, I just made this analogy the other day on a podcast that I was on, is like if you look at The Rock, Kylie Jenner, Taylor Swift, every single one of them has built their own personal brand. And that's why people love them. And they're not, yeah, like The Rock has his tequila brand, so on and so forth, but people are more so following him because they want to know him. Just the same for your own business as well, especially starting from the beginning. Build your own personal brand first and then worry about building maybe a business profile if you get to the point where you're scaling up and you have hundreds of thousands of people following you and you're like, yeah, I want to build my own business profile. But the main profile we should be building up is yours. And it should be posting about you and everything like that. And we'll dive into that a little bit later on. But referring back to the Instagram handle, we want to make sure that this encaptures you and your name in it because people are following you to be with you, not necessarily your brand. Anything you want to add there, Baker?
No, agreed.
Awesome. Alrighty. Now moving along to profile photo. I also like Frank's profile photo. It speaks directly to his ideal client. So he primarily coaches men. As you can see from his testimonial photo that's right there in his pinned post, It's a guy that's very much like him. They go from, I don't want, they're not bad physiques, but mid-average physiques to these incredible physiques, these really built up looks. And in his profile photo, it's showing his face, it's showing how fit he is. He's a fitness coach and he's representing that. So your Instagram profile photo should also represent that. So if you're working with Gen Pop people, having a photo like Frank's might be a little bit intimidating to people that are Gen Pop. But for men who are trying to achieve that like extra level physique, this speaks directly to them. And so let's say if you are speaking to Gen Pop people, you want to still show that you're fit. So maybe if you're like in a sports bra, if you're a girl or a guy and like in a tighter top, but you might not want to show like how extremely built you are because it can scare people away. So just kind of think of your ideal client and what they would be attracted to and use that for your Instagram profile. If you want to typically have your face in it and probably you smiling. I know Frank isn't necessarily smiling this, but again, that speaks to his ideal client. It's a more idolized, like masculine look to his profile photo. Do you want to add anything in there, Baker?
No, I was just gonna help you out there in terms of, it's just a very masculine, like looking for guys that are wanting to kind of take their physiques to the next level, and that's typically like a more serious thing if you're going to target that particular person. So I think it works here for Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now going into his Instagram bio, the like bread and butter of what we need this to be. So first and foremost, looking at that very top, I wish I could draw on here, but where it says Frank Cianciota, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I apologize, Frank, if you're watching this. Yes, that one right there. Thank you so much, Baker. And it says online nutrition and fat loss coach. I absolutely love this. Some people have it as just their name, which is also perfectly okay as well. But I like how we added the online nutrition and fat loss coach to the top rather than putting it into the bio description, because it gives him more space inside of the bio description to actually write in some extra things that we'll be going into in a moment. So you guys can either have it as your name only, or you could have that little line that's there and then online nutrition or fat loss coach, or if you're a mindset coach, dog trainer, whatever your business is, you can add that in there. Anything you want to add in there, Baker?
Nope, I completely agree. The main use of space on here is, first, you're going to come up better in search engine results, because now if someone searches like Frank Coach or Frank Nutrition or again, we both would butcher Frank's last name, but like if someone put in his last name, they're just trying to find him, or even just search his online nutrition and fat loss coach, Frank's now going to be one of the options that comes up. So it can help out with the SEO, but the biggest thing is that it gives us more space down here to do what I'm sure Felicity's about to get in to here to optimize your actual bio.
Yes. All right, so let's dive into the actual bio. Again, the bread and butter and the thing you want to make sure that you optimize, because this is going to be the actual funnel aspect that Baker was talking about earlier. So first and foremost, we want our line one front and center to be who I help and how I help them. And this is going to be pertaining to your client avatar, or your ideal client, so to speak. So Frank has this nailed down pat. I help busy career-driven men, so exactly who he helps, lose 20 plus pounds with macro plans that fit their schedule. Who he helps and how he helps them. He helps busy career-driven men lose 20 pounds with macro plans. Exactly what we need. Do you have any comments in there, Baker, on his first line? Anything you want to add into that?
Nope.
No? Awesome. All right. And then the next line that we're going to have is some sort of validation. And Frank, again, nailed this right on the head. He said 152 plus lives changed. One thing about validation statements is we want this number as big as possible. And let's say you're just starting out. And I know this is the hardest part, especially if you're just starting out as in your business or as an online fitness coach, is like, what number do I put? Because I haven't really helped anybody, or I was an in-person coach. What could I do here? Think about yourself. How many hours have you spent on the gym floor? How many years have you spent training? So start to think outside of the box when it comes to your validation statement, because it doesn't just have to be about the amount of lives you've changed. And on top of that as well, One thing that I really like how Frank did here is he had 152 plus lives changed. So his number is an exact number, but he also added the plus button. So it's more than 152. So it's a very accurate looking validation statement where it looks like he comes in and he switches it around when he starts to help out more and more people. So I know, for example, Mike, when he owned his coffee company, he did a crazy number of how many coffee cups brewed. And that is based off of the numbers of how many things he sold and how many cups of coffee were in each package. So try to think of the maximum number of like that you can create. So how many hours have you spent on the gym floor? Probably a lot more than many. So put in thousands of, or instead of doing something broad like thousands, do 1,052, maybe using his number, hours spent on the gym floor. So start to think again outside of the box and as large as possible when it comes to this number. Anything else that you wanted to add into that there, Baker?
Yeah, the more specific you can get, the better, right? And even if you
Yes.
just know that it's in this ballpark, write down a specific number because if you guys think about it, he could have just put 150 plus lives changed, but putting 152 plus lives changed, that means that the most recent count that he did was 152, but that's also increasing. So it just helps to provide a little bit more actual validity versus just like I could say 100 plus and that could be 101 or that could be 199, but it all sounds and feels like fluff,
Yeah.
right? So getting more specific makes you sound more legitimate, which helps you to, again, accomplish what we want to do here, which is provide as much validity or like a quick little social proof injection right there in the middle of that bio.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the very last line, so our very third line, is going to be our crystal clear call to action. And in Frank's, it's get my free macro nutrition blueprint. And we want to make this as clear as possible because, especially if you're a fitness coach, a lot of people that are coming to your page are probably very insecure. They don't know what to do. They're kind of just coming to your page to browse around. And we want to make sure that this is a direct, like, call to action where it's like, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to get this. And Frank does this perfectly. Once again, get my free macronutrient blueprint. And I like how he also adds the arrow so they know to click on that button to then go and get his macronutrient blueprint there. This can be as such as join my private Facebook group. A lot of coaches have their own private Facebook group to build their community or their school group, so on and so forth. So think of what directly you want to have. Again, something that's very like we want something as I'm trying to specific as possible. That's the word I was looking for. We don't want to just say like click the link below. We want to say why and what they're going to get from clicking the link and where to click the link. So adding in that arrow, showing them like click this link so you can get X, Y, and Z. Another thing that let me stop there. Baker, anything you want to add to that aspect?
No, it needs to be a freebie. It needs to be something that's free that is
Yep.
valuable to your people. So the important thing is Mike calls this the trifecta. It's something that he's kind of been developing as an idea, but you needed your content, your freebie, and your bio all need to have the same exact things, right? So in his I help statement, he talks about helping men with their macros. Okay. And then whenever it's his freebie, oh, hey, get my free macro nutrition blueprint. So if I'm a busy career driven man, I see that he works with me, and then I see that he helps them with macro plans, and then I see, oh, I can get something for free macro related from him as a busy career driven man. And then now, what am I going to do as that guy? I'm going to fill out this application or fill out this freebie to get Frank's help. And then Frank
Mm-hmm.
did everything he possibly could do to get this person to take action. So it's important that he's also talking about macros inside of his content as well. But this is a great form of alignment. It's just having that this is he does macros for this person. Hey, you can actually get something free macro related if you're that person,
Mm-hmm.
and that's his freebie. Coaches a lot of times would be like they might have like a DM me a keyword, which sometimes it's effective, or they'll have like apply to work with me, and those are just not going to convert near as well, guys. People are, even if you have a freebie on the other side of this and you say apply to work with me, people think that this is just an application link and they're going to get sold the second they click on this link.
Yeah.
So we want to be plugging something free, and then on the other side of this link, which I'm not going to kind of expose Frank's funnels or anything, on the other side of this link there can be an application form but there also needs to be a freebie or a quick opt-in for people, because 97% of people might not be ready to buy from you yet, but the 3% that will go ahead and do so. But those other 97% of people, let's give them some free value up top. And if you're an AR funnel, you're going to get a conversation started through the actual system where you can nurture them into some sort of a buying position.
Hmm.
So I know that was a lot to add there, but that's kind of what we recommend is plugging a freebie that's related to the person you coach.
Yeah, 110%. We want everything to work together. You're one person, you want everything to be in unison as well. Like you want it to all make sense.
For example,
Oh yeah,
we wouldn't want Frank here to be helping this person, but then sorry, down below have get my menopause navigation guide, and
yeah.
then it's like, whoa, why would any of his ideal clients want to interact with that? And that's like an extreme example, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right?
100%. Cool. And we want this, just to add in a little bit extra stuff here, we want this freebie to be like the best possible freebie that anybody can download for this specific ideal client. Like what Alex Hormozi says, your free stuff should be better than anybody's paid stuff. So remember that as you guys are trying to come up with this bio and what you can give away for free for your ideal client. Awesome. Alrighty. One thing I do want to add here too is I love that he only has one link as well. I know a lot of coaches, when they come to us at AR, they'll have multiple links. Make sure that you just have one link. It's a lot less confusing. Think like second grade. Like if we had a second grader come here, they can and they can generally read and understand basic concepts. We want that same sort of idea when it comes to your bio. Like one link, they just click on it, as simple and as sweet as possible. The simpler, the better. Beautiful. All right. Now let's dive into his highlights. I first off, just even looking at his highlights, I like how clean they look. They all are identical to each other. However, they go into each aspect of him. Baker, do you want to go into the highlights, or do you want to just briefly touch on highlights?
I think we just briefly touch on them. Really, the biggest thing is, guys, we don't want to click on a highlight and see the earliest one, or I guess the first one was 300 weeks ago, because what that's going to tell people is you're not, even though you might have one that was posted yesterday or the day before, they're going to have to click through for a year themselves to find out that you're still coaching, versus if they just look at the beginning, they're like, oh, he was coaching a few years back. That's what happened. So we want to make sure that our highlights are less than 8 weeks old, because that's just going to be crucial for people knowing that you're still doing the thing that you are trying to get them to know that you do.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I ate for dinner last night, so no one really, not to be harsh or anything, but no one cares about what you did 8 months ago.
Right.
They want to know what you're doing now, and you want to keep that up to date. One thing, like I know I'm terrible at keeping even my highlights up to date. I don't even really have any. I have one highlight on my Instagram, and it's all just clients who have joined my coaching business. So if the highlights are something that you guys are like, I don't know if I can add that to my plate, either have none or keep up with them. So again, we want to make sure that they're nice and fresh, so people aren't coming here and they're like, like, why am I watching something from 300 and something weeks ago when that's years and years back? It's not applicable to date.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next thing we are going to dive into is his 3 pinned posts. So for your 3 pinned posts, Frank has I would say, just overviewing, pretty good pin posts. There's one thing that I would definitely like to add in here. Obviously, we haven't clicked into them, so I can't see the captions. But the first one that I always like to have is something about like the family, couples, you and friends. So something about you and something personal post to you. I know, Baker, you have one of you and Kenzie from your wedding. And it just shows people a little bit about who you are and a little bit outside of just your coaching business in of itself. And I take that Frank's is going to be his transformation more so, instead of like, so he has his transformation, and he probably in the caption, obviously we haven't pulled it up yet, has a story behind his transformation, because his transformation is incredible. And so people are going to look at that and want to click on it because they're like, how in the world did this man go from that to that? It's bonkers. I remember I saw that for the first time and I was like, Frank, your transformation is wild. Like that is so cool. Congratulations. So we want something like you, the family, and I know Mike always says this, like the family and the white picket fence, like everything in the white picket fence. So you want something that is pertaining to you and tells them a little bit about like, hey, I'm a human too. Especially this happens for, I know we have a few male coaches on here that actually work with women in menopause. And Baker, I don't know if you want to dive into this a little bit, but men typically, so the way that if you're a man working with primarily women clients, sometimes if we slide in or if guys slide into a girl's DMs, it would be coming across in some other way rather than for coaching, especially if you're doing some sort of outreach. So making sure that you have a photo of, like, for example, I know Bigger, you don't work directly with women, but you have you and your wife. So these women that are receiving these DMs, if they go and look at your page, they know that you have a wife and you're not trying to slide in for other reasons other than coaching and helping them out, getting to them to their goals. I don't know. Do you want to add anything into that first pin post?
No, just, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for it, but that's one for sure, is just making sure that you're not being perceived by pursuing somebody in a way other than I'm trying to help you with your health and fitness goals. But also just really people in relationships are psychologically they're going to be trusted more, and if you can show that you're in a dedicated relationship, then you come across as a more trustworthy person, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the case of men, because men typically don't get that benefit of the doubt when reaching out to a female counterpart, that they are doing this for maybe a professional reason. So it is going to help you out with conversions. It's going to help you out with responses if you have something like that, because you're going to be perceived as having pure intentions and being more trustworthy. That's just how
Absolutely.
the world works.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Next transformation or next, I just exposed it. Next pin post is going to be a transformation. And Frank has a great photo here. It's directly in the center of his ideal client. And it's a man or a male who has definitely lost the weight that he was, again, we want everything in unison, having that mission statement or the I help busy career driven men lose 20 plus pounds. He has that photo right here, even with his logo a little bit at the top, which I actually kind of like because it's only small where it's not taking up too much of space, but it's showing his business in it. But with that being said, he has a really great transformation. So people see not only Frank's transformation of like, oh, Frank can do this, but also he's coached other people to be able to do this. So he can coach me on how to do this as well. So people are going to be able to see like the before photo and be like, oh, that's me now. And look at that transformation. I can get there. Wild. So we want a transformation of your ideal client. So one of your best transformations or something that really speaks to, again, that ideal client avatar, because that's who we're trying to get into your business. So our second pin post we want is our transformation. Anything you want to add into that, Baker?
In the caption, talk about who the person on the left
Yes.
was when they came to you, and also who the person is now, where they're at now, where their
Mm-hmm.
mentality's at, psychologically, emotional, mental health, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to really illustrate not just the physical journey, because the physical journey is seen the second that the post is viewed, but also where that person was and what they were feeling in detail, and where they're at now and what they're feeling in detail. Because
Mm-hmm.
people are going to learn from either video, pictures, or copy. So we've got the picture up there. It'd be great if we could swipe to the right and watch a video of this same person talking about their experience and how they feel now. But then if we have copy, then that is a great testimonial post, because I might not see like my body type on the left there. I might not hear, myself in the person's words, but I might read the caption and see like, oh, this person also works 60 hours a week for a consulting gig and travels 3 to 5 times a month to different places across the country. Like, oh, I see myself in that. You know what I mean? So we
Mm-hmm.
want them to be able to attach themselves to something, so that more people like this person are going to be attracted to working with Frank.
Yeah. 110%. You want to hit them with every single way that they can possibly, like, think about the ways that you can learn, every single possible way there. Awesome. And then the very last pin post is talking head video. And again, this is exactly what Frank has here. And I love his like statement right across, or like in the, I guess, the cover shot, where it says how to get into the best shape of your life. And that's exactly speaking to his ideal client, because in the 2 transformation posts that he has, one of him and one of his ideal client, they're getting into the best physique of their entire life. Like, look at those transformations. So now the person, kind of going back to the 3 ways you can learn, can go into the post of Frank talking and see what he means by how to get into the best shape of your life. Like, how, I even want to click on it and figure out what Frank is talking about. Even though I'm a girl and am not his ideal client, there's something that makes you want to click on it and see what he's going to talk about. So you want a talking head video that again speaks to your ideal client, and they will receive value from it, because the more value that we can give to someone, the more they're going to like, know, and trust you, in turn convert into a client. We also want to talk about like their pain point. So we want to bring up like, all right, so this is where you're probably at. Now let's figure out a way and let's give them value to get them, or get them started on their transformation to get them to their goal. Because again, that's the whole purpose of this talking head video. Anything you want to add in that there?
No, yeah. I mean, it can be ultimately, it'd be great if it aligned with like the freebie and with the I help
Of course.
statement, and then you have some sort of educational talking head video on, diving deeper into that thing, because then it's very obvious that when you come to this page, and I think Frank's is actually about something with macros or nutrition, so it works great. But then when you come to this page, you're like, okay, he really is. This is the macros guy, or this is the metabolism guy, or this
Mm-hmm.
is the yoga girl. Like this is the type of thing that this person does really well, and this is what they talk about and how they execute it.
Yeah.
So those are kind of like the general tips, guys, that we give all of our clients, and how we have them all rework their social media platforms and profiles to optimize for better conversions.
Yeah.
Anything you want to kind of leave the people with, Felicity?
Um, Other than just keep thinking about your brand and who you are as a person, your brand is your story. So wherever you were previously and who you're helping out now, tell that story and make sure that's crystal clear when people come directly to your bio, your Instagram. I even like to pretend that I don't even know myself, and then jump in, or I do this with clients, like I pretend that I don't even know them, and I'm like, I'm going to look at your Instagram. Like, if I don't even know you, I don't know what you do or anything of the nature. So, fresh eyes, fresh everything. Now, I'm going to take that mindset and I'm going to start applying it. Like, cool. Do I understand what you do? How you help people, who you help. And if you start to come into your own Instagram with that mindset, it's going to help you a lot with starting to figure out, like, cool, this is actually how it should work. And think about it as like a second grader's mindset. Like, is it crystal clear, super easy, cut dry? Do I understand what's happening? Do I have that validation? So keep that in mind as you guys are looking at your Instagrams and assessing everything that we told you today.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we would
Cool.
love it if we have provided any value today for us to have earned a subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that would be awesome. And comment if you have any extra questions or concerns, or maybe if a light bulb went off for you, we'd love to hear how we can better lean into that in our
Yeah.
teachings, both here on YouTube and with our clients as well. If you want to work with us in any capacity, all the links are down below to follow us or book a call. And that's all we got for you guys today.
Yeah.
Happy Friday and happy Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Have a
Or
very Merry Christmas. Talk to you
have
guys soon.
a have a Merry Christmas, not Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Friday and have a Merry Christmas. You
Definitely a
guys know what
Friday
we're
for you,
saying.
Baker.
Definitely Friday. All right. Thanks,
Love it.
guys.
Bye.
Perfect.